Hey, I hope everyone's doing well. It's just me right now, and so I'm just going to talk into the void. If no one shows up in 10 minutes, I'm out. I had to walk away from the show for a few minutes while the video was playing because of work. Work calls me every once in a while. And besides my kids, I should really pick up the phone for work since they give me money as well as work. So I had to take that phone. I'm happy to announce that I'm actually working enough now to not lose money. Well, you might notice that I don't talk a lot about money here on the show, but I was officially out of work for 7 months because of COVID, and now that I'm fully vaccinated, I think starting today I'm like officially fully vaccinated. It's been a couple of weeks since I got my shot. I've been working again in home health care, and now I'm officially getting enough hours between this and my blog income, and of course the small pennies that I get from here. Thank you very much, patrons, once again, and YouTube members. Enough not to be bleeding money. I haven't been bleeding money in the last few months because of, and I don't talk about this a whole lot, about the stock market. I sold my condo just at the beginning of the crisis, which I was very lucky at. And believe me, my condo was not an expensive condo, but I have invested the money and I haven't made like an insane, I'm obviously not a millionaire. I am the urban poor. That's what I like to tell people. But between the stock market and cryptocurrency, I've been able to keep myself afloat during this crisis. And now I get to have more money coming in because I'm working. So no one's stopping in right now, Sammy. So I got 10 minutes. You got me for 10 minutes. And then because how much do I really have to say that's really intriguing? See, I've just been talking about the stock market and cryptocurrency for 2 minutes. And of course my work too. Tough field. It is it's good work. I do enjoy working with people. The people that I've been working with so far have been good folks who are in dire need. I can't really say too much about them because, I'd be breaking confidentiality, but it's incredibly, and this is what I've been saying. When people ask me what I do, what do I do? I always come up with some bullshit reason, because if they don't know who I am and they aren't acquainted with my work, then, especially in the real world, right? Out in the offline world. But, what I really do between the comedy and this is that, I give comfort to the afflicted and I afflict the comfortable. And if that was my mission statement, it's those 4 words right there. I give, comfort the afflicted, maybe more than 4 words, right? Comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. 6 words, maybe. Hey, who's here? Rage. Always a pleasure,
What's up,
sir.
man? How you doing?
I like your camera angle because it looks like it just kind of skewed a little bit, so you look like
Yeah,
a
it
German
is.
expressionist, movie from like the 1920s or something, right? I like it.
All right, that should be better.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know how
yeah.
that happened.
Dude, I'm here in a very small spot, so whenever I get up or whenever I make the wrong move, I have to like refix everything around me.
Yeah, me too. Well, I've got more room now that I moved everything. But before, I had shitty lighting, and yeah, it was like if I got up, everything, I was hitting everything.
I can't even tell you how much time I spend thinking about lighting, about what kind of lighting makes this alabaster like face of mine look less death, look less and because I have to use natural light too, the light changes. So what worked an hour ago doesn't. The good thing is that I look at the camera, so I don't have to look at me. I'm sorry, everyone, for having to look at me. You don't have to. You can just like cover part of and just look at knock.
Yeah, I like using natural light as much as I can. I'm trying to get
Yeah,
the lighting good for nighttime green screens and stuff. But yeah, the natural light's good, but you're right. Like it'll flip on you real quick,
yeah.
especially if it'll do it once you're using your green screen.
Right. So when I do use the green screen, now I use it when I'm upstairs broadcasting from my bedroom. I actually have a lot less space because even though the green screen is great, it is very narrow. So to
Yeah.
get the green screen in frame, um, I really have a limited amount of space. So literally, anytime I move, I have to like start rejiggering everything. Yeah.
I know I'm thinking about getting a new. I want one of the green screens that hooks onto your chair.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that's badass. It takes no like my green screen is collapsible. It's small, but it takes up too much room.
I did not see. No, this is how ignorant I am. I didn't even know that there was a green screen that you could actually clip onto your chair.
Yeah, it's like new. I see it all advertised on Facebook, and I'm like, I gotta get one of those.
Yeah, yeah,
And like you
that
can
would be
move
pretty cool.
around and shit doesn't get fucked up.
Well, what I would like to do because because I like to move in and out of frame and everything. I'd like to spin around too in my spinny chair upstairs, but it's like there's no way I could do that because I would like destroy everything. The camera would be
Yeah,
flying, everything would be flying around, dude.
yeah,
Man, so how are
yeah.
you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm working this morning. Like yesterday, I was in a lot of pain, so my brain wasn't into working at all, and even my live stream was kind
Yeah.
of off. But yeah, today I'm getting the work done. I'm hoping to roll out my new channel today or tomorrow, because I'm going to be
So what's the
starting
new channel
over.
about?
It's going to be all. It's going to be my edited work, and Raging Atheist is going to go to straight live streams,
Mhm.
and yeah, it's going to be me conforming to YouTube, right? It's something that I
Oh,
refused to do a year and a half ago when they demonetized me. I'm like, screw the capitalist, but now I'm like, yeah, it's time to play the capitalist game. So no swearing, and it's going to be more argumentation based videos as opposed to responding and talking crap about Christians. So more of
right.
what YouTube wants.
Yeah, yeah. I have you might have noticed this about me is that I have a few issues with authority myself. And so as soon as the algorithm tells me I can't do something, I'm like, maybe I can. Maybe I can.
Yeah, I pushed I pushed the boundaries for the last few years, and YouTube has changed. YouTube, it used to be about the small channel, and small
Yeah.
channels could blow up really quickly, and now they're not about the small channel, and they're more about friendly or family friendly content. So I didn't change with the times, and so this is now my attempt to try to and to do it again and play with the algorithm and stuff like that, like I've never done before. I see in the side chat. Ox is asking me what about the native stuff. On the Raging Atheist, I'm still going to be doing it. It'll be live stream stuff though. On the edited channel, there'll be a lot of that edited content as well. But I want to do it in a more focused way, in a more positive
Mhm.
way, and hopefully get actual natives involved, which has been a problem with the Raging Atheist brand is getting people involved with that brand because it's a toxic brand. Um,
Because it's a toxic brand.
it is.
What's
It's
up, Sandy?
yeah. Just go watch any of my videos and yeah, I probably don't want to be associated with that. But what's up,
You're on
Sammy?
mute, sir. Sammy's living the good life there, but yeah, I love the hoodie.
Cheers. I
Yeah,
actually got
yeah.
this for my birthday, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
All my clothes are black.
Mm.
I didn't actually mean to do it, but we were looking at my wardrobe and we realized literally it's just completely black.
Yeah.
So my missus bought me this for my birthday.
I was looking at what limited wardrobe I do have, and it looks like I'm there are times it's just British colonialism, like khaki and black, basically. It's like, man.
Yeah, most of my stuff's black. But once I started using the green screen, like black is a difficult color for a green screen, so I started buying more colorful shirts.
No, see, no, that's smart. That's smart.
You know what seems to, well, it works well on my computer anyway, is blue screen rather than green.
Yeah, yeah.
Seems
I've
to
been thinking about
handle
switching to a blue screen because I've heard it's better.
Mm.
seems to handle black and and other things that green seems to struggle with a little bit.
Yeah, and you can use pretty much any color. And yeah, it's definitely green is probably not the best one. It's just it's what we've always used since the inception of the technology. But now we know more. I've been thinking about getting a blue one, or making my own blue one, as opposed to buying one. So.
Yeah, Blazing Wizard said that he thought I might have a bunch of red coats. And I'm thinking about Bridge on the River Kwai kind of stuff, right? The old khaki dark colors and everything. So when are you going to be launching the channel, Rage?
I'm hopefully today, but it's gonna depend on if I can get the trailer and a video done. I have one video that's like left on my Patreon that I could throw on my Raging Atheist channel, but it cusses a lot, and like I'm gonna have a no swearing rule with the new channel. So yeah, if I can get both of that done today, I'm going to try to roll it out today. If not, tomorrow.
So I say this with love,
yeah.
but what's the over-under that you're going to be able to keep to the no swearing policy?
Well, because it's edited content, it'll be fairly easy. There'll be no live streaming on the new channel. I'll save all that, all my vitriol for the Raging Atheist.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
So we'll see how it goes. But like. I could clean it up 100%. I could get all the videos off of my channel that's on there that YouTube doesn't like, and I still wouldn't get monetized on the Raging Atheist. So it's like I had to do something, and doing it this way, I keep the Raging Atheist and I keep that brand that I worked really hard on,
Right.
but then I start over and I can hopefully build something new.
Right. Well, good for you, man. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're popular. You have a good personality, and it comes across on camera, so you should be able to monetize that new channel pretty quickly.
Yeah, like the major criticism always against me since the very beginning was you cuss too much, and it's like totally understandable. I've lived a different life than most. I'm definitely rough around the edges, so yeah, if I could knock that out, and I know YouTube absolutely hates it. Me and you both worked with Chris, and Chris was always talking about that YouTube Observer. I mean, they're everywhere, and they hate bad language now, which is unfortunate because that's what built YouTube. That's what made YouTube popular. So
Yeah. It's all about the money, right? It's all about advertisers, and I don't. Well, the problem with live streaming, right? And you know this, it's the problem with the medium itself, because you could easily just like cut loose with a curse word, or one of your guests can cut loose with any kind of curse words, and it's like, oh, there it goes.
Yep. Yeah, and I go on other channels and it comes out of me, and I'll tell myself not to do it because I don't want to affect the monetization of other channels, and it still just comes out. Yeah, this is the way people talk.
No, it's real, dude. You're totally right on that. It is just how people talk,
Yeah.
and especially if you're going to be passionate about something, right? How can you not swear?
Yeah, exactly. But I've had several Christians. All atheists can say is the F word, and it's like it's unfortunate, but we do have to try to hold ourselves to a higher standard. So I need to hold myself to a higher standard because I'll get in the gutter and just roll around in the mud.
Right. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I was thinking about a new idea, and let me throw this out at you. This idea for a show on this channel is it would be Convert the Atheist, and I would ask theists to come on and try to convert me. I don't know if that would work.
It'd be interesting. And it's kind of what they're supposed to be doing anyway, right?
Right.
But a lot of them just end up coming on to try to beat your reasoning or your logic or to try to insult you. But
Yes.
mostly, like most of my favorite interactions, and I used to a lot of my old friends used to get really mad about proselytizing and people trying to convert, and I'm like, dude, I love that. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're not doing that, then that's like really honestly an insult against me if you're not trying to convert me.
No, no, no. Totally. You're totally right on that. Yeah.
I mean, it's never gonna work. That's what I tell them. Like, you know, and like going into this whole philosophy thing, I've been telling people like, because like people seem excited, like maybe I'll actually convert be- once I understand logic, and I'm like, no, I'm going into this biased.
Well, theology and philosophy are two different things. Theology comes up with a solution first and tries to engineer a logical reason why their psychotic episodes are true. Philosophy, like we've talked about before, it's more of a exploration of ideas and concepts.
Yeah, um, yeah. So I'm pretty excited. I know the chat's having a little fun with it. You know, the raging atheist without the rage, then it's just the atheist. Good
Yeah,
point. We don't need another bald atheist. I agree with that, but unfortunately, I can't reverse the time on that one. But no, I'm actually going to call it the godless one. That's what it's going to be
yeah,
called. I had like 10 names, and I definitely didn't want to go with another the name, but I
right.
ended on the godless one. I think it expresses it. I'm going to start with my series on Atheism Kills, which is a book that this douchebag wrote, and then I'm one of my first major. The 12 Tribes cult's going to premiere over there as well,
Good.
and then but one of my first major argument. I've been researching the interpretation argument.
Mhm.
Ocean Keltoy put out a really good video on it. I watched a lot of really good videos on this argument, so I'm going to present my version of it. And I think
Oh,
that
cool.
this is the defeater. It's even better than the problem of evil if you're
So
having a
what is
conversation with
the
Christians.
interpretation argument? I don't know if I
It's
know.
let me see if I can break it down for you because it's interesting. So it's basically Christians disagree with each other, therefore God doesn't exist. That's
Oh,
basically the conclusion of the argument. But then you have several arguments within it. One of the conclusions for one of the arguments is therefore God is a pathological liar. So essentially what it is you break it down based on the definition of the Christian God, which is omni. You know, it's an omni
right.
God, omnipotent, omniscient would be the two
Yeah.
that you focus on. And so it's basically, well, can God use his words? Is God the all powerful? If he's going to express his message to these human writers, wouldn't he express it so everybody could understand it? And that's essentially the argument. So when you have different interpretations, that defeats the very definition of the
Right.
God.
Yeah.
It's a great argument. I love it. It's like Ocean did a really good job on it, and I'm like, yes, I got to look into this, and it's a good argument.
Hey, what's up, Dave?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Mr. Microphone's way over here. Yeah, the usual.
That bad, huh? I'm sorry to hear that.
Hey, no, life is good. Life is good.
Wow, life is good.
Actually, I shouldn't have worn the shirt. I have my little Band-Aid here from my inoculation yesterday.
Congratulations,
So
sir.
far, the only side effect is I got poked in the arm with a needle.
Yes, yeah. When I did get my shots, and this is just typical, I always look away because I don't want to see the needle
Oh.
actually getting into my
I do too.
delicate flesh.
I did too, and the lovely paramedic, I guess, person who was doing this, they were part of the fire department that was working
Oh.
with the community center, and they had like 4 long rows of chairs, and they had a little cart that they were just going person by person. So you'd get questioned and cleaned, and then the cart would come by and do the pokey thing, and then they'd observe you for 12 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the people were great. And I told her I don't like needles and I don't want to watch. And she did it, and I'm like, wow, that was like way easier than giving blood. And she's like, yeah, I should have mentioned that.
I think we lost a real opportunity, during most of the, with the rollout of the vaccine, is we could have compared the amount of people going into different centers with whether or not they get a cookie after they get a shot. Because I'm going to think that if you get a cookie after your shot, more people, just for that one reason alone,
Yeah.
would there be more people attending or going to that center with a cookie, especially if it's a soft cookie.
I went to KFC for the first time in 8 years yesterday, and they said, "Oh, do you want to make it like a combo box?" Because we ordered those new chicken sandwiches they have up here, and it comes with a cookie, and that would have influenced my decision had I known beforehand. Hey, this also comes with a chocolate chip cookie. I'd be like, yeah, I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Nice. Yeah. So I want to say hello to Lee and Dragons and Genesis. Hope you're doing well today, Jason.
I think at some point we're going to have to start passing out rebel flags for shots, because that's the only way you're going to get these damn Confederates to do it.
No, who was it yesterday who said call it the Patriot vaccine?
I think that's great. I think that's great. Yeah. Yeah. There should have been better marketing. But of course, Project Warp Speed, difficult to do, right?
Yeah.
Especially under the Trump administration.
And I think there was someone yesterday on CNN who was saying that it's time for the current president to come out and give credit to Operation Lightspeed for the numbers of inoculations and the genesis of the virus, the antivirus of the vaccine. To give credit to them and say, the one thing that we really appreciate that they did in this case was this, and we're seeing the results of the hard work of the people involved in that, and not necessarily just Trump, but if there is one thing he deserved a pat on the back for, that's got to be it.
It's so difficult to, and this happened to me during Bush the Elder's administration, is that in the midst of the completely shit show it was difficult to point out to people, if George Bush, if W had said water is wet, 99% of the people would have been like, I don't think that's wet. I don't think that's right. I think I have to check Google to make sure that water is actually wet.
Yeah.
But that being said, okay, so you could say that the administration did definitely get rid of the red tape, basically, for the creation of the vaccine. But they did so much harm outside of that. Yeah.
Well, that's right?
I'm not even sure that, I know he had Operation Warp Speed and all, and I'm sure that there were some in government that was really trying to accelerate the process. But I'm not sure that Trump really had too much to do with it, honestly. Like, they've been developing this vaccine for 10 years, and they just used, they had 6 years of research from previous, the bird flu, COVID. And I think that we really got lucky that the pandemic was a COVID, or we probably wouldn't have found a vaccine.
You're right about that, Rage.
So
you're
quickly.
Right about that. Because you're right, they've been working on coronavirus vaccines in general, and we were also lucky that mRNA technology is here right now. So we got lucky.
It really is the problem of Trump, because I want to give him credit where credit is due, but he takes credit for everything. So it's like, I don't really know if he really deserves the credit for that, and it is like the one thing that you could really give him credit for.
Yeah. I mean, he could have made it worser than he did. Is that a word, worse, or no? He could have made it worse than what he did. Sure, there's no doubt about that. So maybe we should be thankful that he didn't, shoot the virus. Try to shoot the virus.
I think it's worser.
Worser. Okay, thank you.
The worstest.
I just gotta check on my barbecue chicken. I'll be right back.
Oh, barbecue chicken.
Yeah. and that is like the conundrum of Donald Trump, right? Like, well, and it kind of goes the opposite way, because for 4 years we had media telling us, well, they're not building the wall, and then we find out, yeah, construction stopped on the wall, and it's like, wait a minute, I thought we weren't building the wall.
Yeah. The what I enjoyed, and my girlfriend is in the chat, so she can confirm this. What I enjoyed from observing Donald J. Trump was just, it was like a scientific experiment in real time about how dictatorships occur, how demagoguery works, how cults form. Yeah, but that's what got me so afraid. That's why you saw me basically do a freak out over the last, for 5 years, basically, the lead up to the administration and then the administration itself.
I'm really afraid if he runs again. If he runs again, I think that I think there's gonna be violence. I think that they're not going to take no as an answer this time. You know?
Yeah. The best thing we have in our favor is that the militia system that they have, or the non-system, the militias were just completely disorganized, basically. Like they weren't the SA, they weren't stormtroopers back in the 30s in Germany. They weren't the Red Guards from Tsarist Russia. They were organized from Central Command. It's much more disparate.
Yeah, it was a lot of disorganized randos that Q sent. And that's what I'm kind of afraid of, is they're going to have 4 years to really organize. And I don't, man, I hope he doesn't come out of that nomination.
I see your death meat there, simply secular Dave. You're trying to trigger this vegetarian with your delicious food.
Delicious. Remember, it's 7:26 a.m. out here, and I'm barbecuing.
Well, that's what you said when you head off screen. It's like you're eating barbecue chicken for breakfast, and that is a bold thing to do.
Oh, I'm just cooking. I didn't get a chance to cook it last night because I was busy, so I'm making it for lunch today. So.
Well, from what I understand of your schedule, I'm surprised you have time to do anything.
Yeah, it looked delicious.
Today is my first calm day. Actually, I have this. I don't know if it'll show up on the green screen. The shower heady thing with a multiple sprayer to put in the shower today. So that'll take 10 minutes.
So I see that, remember, Mr. Sammy Jenkins trying to get me into trouble there with wondering why the girlfriend doesn't have a
I
wrench.
saw you feverishly typing away there. Oh shit, he's gone.
Yeah, exactly. So now the girlfriend is officially a moderator on the channel. See? So I'm no longer in the... I was afraid that I might be in the trouble bubble, but I quickly acted. So moderator he is. Yes, quickly did I start typing.
Has she ever thrown anything at you from off screen for something you've said in the...
No. She is typically, when I am streaming, she's at work. She is basically has a couple of screens in the office, the home office that she's working at. And so there are at least 2 doors separating us. So she would have to get up. And really, am I really worth opening 2 doors for and throwing something at? I would say not. So she hasn't thrown it.
I may actually send her some large size bean bags for entertainment purposes during the Jenga show.
Oh, right. Which, now that my schedule, it's funny. I've been working now in the afternoons, and so I haven't been able to do the Jenga show. I might be jumping over to do that on the weekends, to tell you the truth, when I have time. Right. My weekends have been pretty busy too lately. Yeah. Yeah.
Very soon I'm going to be a regularly scheduled employee. So.
No, dude, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it's a very good thing. It's a very good thing.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. Well, like I was mentioning earlier, I had to jump off the previous show to talk to my employer, who was offering me more hours, which is like, all right, more hours. I like more hours. I like money. I like enough money to live on. Sure, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Everybody's got to, we have to pay for this internet thing.
Oh, that's what I've heard.
It doesn't just fly into the house.
It does not.
No.
Oh, what? Dragons in Genesis. I got put in Facebook jail today. Apparently, identifying an animal. Identifying an animal is hate speech. Yeah, Dragon. Dragons in Genesis. And all matters what you use. If you're referring to a female dog, that might be.
That could be the loose terminology around that. It may have been a typo. I know if you identify as an animal on Facebook, that can be considered hate speech as far as trans people are concerned. Which
Yes, yeah, dude. It can. And the one thing that I've learned about being on Facebook is that I have to just because I have so many friends who are comedians who get into trouble so often on Facebook. It's like I see what they do, and then I go, well, I know not to use the word white trash, for an example. I can't use that.
I don't get it either, because I have a lot of Confederates on my Facebook, a lot of Southerners, and they're posting their Confederate flags. They're posting just awful stuff from internet YouTubers saying crazy, awful, racist things, and I never see them get banned from Facebook, and yet somebody talks about an animal.
Yeah, well, it's interesting on how the algorithm works, right? In terms of searching out questionable content in Facebook, and I don't think they have anything good in terms of audio recognition. So I think you can get a lot more with just saying something on Facebook than with images or with the written word. That's my perception of it, at least.
Have you seen the graph on what bad words you can say on your YouTube stream as related to how many viewers you have? If you have like 2 or 3 viewers, you can say anything. If you have 100 viewers, you can't say very much. If you have 1,000 viewers, they start locking it down. If you have 10,000, it's not good. You're really, really screwed, and you can't say too much. Once you have 100,000, it's like open season. You can say whatever you want.
Oh, that's funny.
They hate me so much they break their own rules to censor me, because they're in my side chats all the time.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. They're sticky, they call it. When they've found somebody who has violated their policy more than once, they monitor that person more often and more thoroughly than other people. So
yeah, you are correct with this, and that's the same thing for Facebook too. If you get on the list, if you get in the trouble bubble, it's very difficult to get off of it. I've had issues on my Facebook page, and I've figured out ways of manipulating the system so that my Facebook, the Laughing and Disbelief Facebook page, doesn't get permanently banned.
I don't know why Facebook and YouTube don't have a button you can click that says, "I'm a comedian. This is satire."
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's that's rough.
Ever since YouTube labeled me as hate speech, and gave me that strike for hate speech, and I was covering hate speech and I was combating it, but ever since then, the algorithm has been totally against me. It's been night and day. My channel before compared to my channel after has been night and day.
Yeah. I know I don't get much traffic from YouTube. I look at my analytics. It doesn't happen that often. I don't do it that often, because I just care about making content, which is probably a problem in and of itself. But most of my traffic comes from Facebook. Most of my traffic comes from my blog or from Twitter. And very little do I get organic reach on YouTube. So I'm like, F YouTube.
Yeah, my old videos still do. My old videos are, they're in that algorithm, and they're still pumping out and churning views. I think most of my new subs come from videos I made 2 years ago.
Yeah, not me.
That I'd like to point out that I don't know if it helps, but I like to think it helps, is YouTube will often suggest people that I sub to's older videos in my feed. And if I watch it, it will ask me afterwards, was this a useful suggestion? And I'll always go 5 stars, and then when it asks me why, I just tick everything. Like, it was informative. I probably shouldn't, because it's things like it's calming, know, and if it's like one of Rage's raging videos,
not too calming.
Yep. But just in hopes that that's pushing it up the algorithm. That if I'm saying it was a good suggestion, that they'll suggest it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do get that a lot. I do get a lot of new subscribers will be like, "Hey, I'm going through your old video log," and I'm like, "Have fun for the next 5 months."
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
We're-
over 1,000 videos now. I'm like, holy crap, that's a lot of videos.
Yeah. That's a lot of work, dude. I still consider myself new on the platform. I only started seriously being here on YouTube maybe a year ago, less than a year ago. So yeah, I still consider myself new.
I'm constantly being surprised at some of the big names you've spoken to, Andy.
Yeah, dude. I talk to people know me. No one else. I mean, people.
You get
people
around.
I do get around, because I just, yeah. Yeah, people know who I am. Not a lot of people, not a lot of people, but people pop in. I could call up. I could email Howie Hawkins from the Green Party, head of the Green Party, and he would come on probably. Hammett could come on. I don't have them like. I don't abuse my Rolodex. That's what I do. I don't. Like when Alan Lichtman comes up with a new book, I'll ask him to come on. But I just don't ask him to come on to shoot the shit or anything like that. Yep.
Yeah, that's always been the problem with my brand. Is I've been in the Democratic Party here in Michigan for 20 years now. I know a lot of people. I got video footage of me and Bernie talking together. But I can't put it on my channel because I don't want to associate them to my brand.
Right.
It's one of the main reasons why I ultimately decided to start a new cleaner brand. Maybe I can do some more stuff like that.
Yeah. And once again, if anyone's watching this or listening, if you're trying to build your, if you're trying to get guests on, I found Twitter to be exceptionally useful in connecting with people. That's how we got W. Kamau Bell on United Shades of America, great comedian, on our old show, Naked Diner podcast. And so Twitter is a very useful way of reaching out to people.
Yeah, it's like the only thing I really use Twitter for is it's the best way to get a hold of me because it comes right up on my phone. I can see the message. It's easy for me.
So Dragons is saying YouTube recently deleted a few of his videos for copyright issues.
Yeah, I've been getting copyright notices out the ass the last 4 months. Just things that should be covered by fair use now. There's a copyright flag. They're not taking them down, but it's pretty much like the owner of that copyright owns the video now, basically.
Yeah. Well, I've shared comedian videos who've been on this channel, but the thing is, they don't give me the strike. Well, I have gotten a strike, but they don't claim copyright issues with me. But it's the club, let's say, that they're operating in that will say that it gives me the copyright issues. So it is weird, and it's something that changes over time, Rach. And you're right. It's something about how do you figure out what the rules are when the rules are constantly changing.
And they don't really tell you, when they changed their policy on hate speech, like for years, people on YouTube had covered hate preachers and combated it. And that was separate. That wasn't hate speech. And then all of a sudden now it's hate speech and you're demonetizing. I didn't even know that you changed,
Yeah.
They should announce it, especially if you're a creator, even with the smallest channel. Send us a damn newsletter and let us know, hey, we changed our policy. Go look at them.
Yeah, we changed our policy. Screw you.
Yeah.
What's
Go
the
oligarchy.
go with covers? Like how is it that people have covers of songs, be it an instrument or the vocals or whatever? They're clearly not paying royalties.
Yeah, that's always been a gimmick in the system.
But yet, like, you'll be on live streams chatting, and someone will start singing, and the host will be like, "Stop! Stop! Stop!"
It's different rules for live streams. It's crazy. So I use an instrumental version of Immortal Technique one of his songs for my intro, right? And on edited videos, never had an issue, never.
Yeah.
They care about the vocals, but on live streaming, the first time I ever used that same little musical clip that I've used on every single edited video I've ever put out, I got a copyright strike.
Wow, a copyright strike, and that's pretty significant. You can only get a few of those.
Yeah, I had to wait it out for 3 months and make sure I, crossed my I's and or dotted my I's and crossed my T's for 3 months and didn't get any more trouble for it to go away.
Yeah, it is similar to doing comedy when the person tells you they want a clean show, and then you have to ask yourself, well, what does he mean by it? What do they mean by a clean show? Does that mean there's no cursing altogether? Does that mean there's no mentioning of sex? It can be pretty frustrating.
It is. You don't really know the rule, and the whole thing about YouTube is it's supposed to be, it's basically documentary TV. It's real life TV. It's real life people telling you about themselves and their lives. That's what made YouTube what it is, and it's just like they're getting away from that.
Yes, well, it's funny,
and I think it might even be more convoluted than that. Even whether the robot can pick it up or not. I had on possibly this channel, so my Sammy Jenkins channel, which is just sort of my personal channel, a private video of my son's football teams, just clips of them over the year. I did a video for the club just as an end of year thing, and it had an AC/DC song over it, and I got a copyright warning for that, which was a private video, wasn't a live stream. You had to have a link to it, and I think I gave it to 5 people.
How weird is that? I've never heard of that happening before.
And really, it's unfortunate because you're using this music in the background, so it's not the focus of your music. It's really there for atmosphere. You're not profiting off of this music, but what this music does do is, we go through our lives listening to music, and it's impactful to us as human beings. So when we share music, we're kind of sharing something that's impactful for us personally, and they're taking that away, and they're trying to claim put some kind of dollar value on the fact that music is just part of our life and it should be universal. I'm not saying go out and steal everybody's stuff. They have a right to make their money, but we're putting it in the background. It's atmosphere music. That's all it is.
What I found infuriating is that I would sometimes edit a video on my iPad, right? A simple, like 30-second, 50, 60-second video. And I would use the free music that they offer on this particular program that I use. And then I upload it onto YouTube, and YouTube wags its finger at me and goes, "No, that's not free music, sir."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now, they
want you to use their free music, or they want you to pay money to because I know people that will pay money to be able to use songs, like popular songs, and it's bullshit. Like everything, capitalism is everywhere now here in America. It's absolutely crazy.
I think you guys hit on something really important, that you kind of morphed from one thought into another, but you were talking about a clean broadcast or stream, and you went from talking about language to talking about structure.
Yeah.
And I think there's a big difference between having an explicit stream that's identified as there will be cursing and explicit language and topical, content that may be sexual or violent or whatever. There's a big difference between that clean and clean according to YouTube. Clean according to YouTube is not getting tripped up on content strikes, not getting tripped up on language, on the language of abuse, not the language of strong language, explicit language. Talking about sexuality, but not dissing trans people or anybody in the alphabet group or anybody, talking about people and their concerns without talking about racism. That's a different kind of clean.
Yeah.
And that's what clean means to YouTube. And if you don't understand the difference between the two cleans,
Yeah.
you end up in a hole.
Yeah.
I've always used that version of clean. I'm a huge advocate for LGBTQ plus rights. I've always done my trigger warnings. My if it's really sensitive material, I will announce it. And then if it's like an open room or something and it gets crazy, I'll go back and I will edit what I need to edit. I will blur what I need to blur. So a couple times somebody's came in and porn bombed, stuff like that. And YouTube hates it.
Did you say porn bombed?
Oh yeah. They'll come in and they'll put a porno up on their screens trying to get you a strike.
No kidding.
It'll be like a big dick or something. Yeah.
I did not know that was a thing.
I am very conservative. Small C conservative about who I let on the channel. I mean, yeah, I do this open room because I know that people who come on aren't a-holes. When I do atheist drinking out loud, there's a vetting process about who comes on and who's going to be our guest. So
it's the open room atmosphere is dangerous because people can come in and they could be anybody. So for a while I had a rule in the backstage. I had to see your face. If I see your face, that's usually an indicator you're not going to do something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it depends on who you're dealing with. So I don't have those issues when I'm dealing with more serious interlocutors, but you start rolling in the mud with the Smokey Saints and the Brett Keens, then that draws that type of person.
All right. I just want to touch on this for 1 second, Dave. So you're telling me, Sandy, you put in big balls into this video. Dude, that's fucking hilarious. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Under 15s rugby league. The boys thought it was hilarious.
I think that's hilarious, dude. That's well done. So what are we looking at, Dave?
So this is a series of icons that I was in the process of building for Atheist Primetime. And when I introduced other people's channels, I can't icon. I don't think I can icon. Oh, yeah, I can. Okay. So the first one there is, it's safe, religious safe. XXX is obviously the sexual content, drinking on camera, the marijuana, vaping. If you're going to smoke on camera, maybe put an icon up there, right? Like this may happen or whatever. Yeah, and if you're doing a live stream, you can put a bunch of icons up that are all red that says, this is a live stream and anything can happen. And then the one at the bottom, obviously, is strong language, right?
Strong language, yeah.
With the old historic asterisk symbols and all that. I was working on this because as I was doing Atheist Prime Time, I found that there are huge differences between the content that is made within the community. And it seems to be polarized with kind of a neutral ground on the live streams in the middle. But there are people like Shannon Q, whose big thing is elevate the discourse. And she rarely swears. She's very friendly to everyone. She tries to give everyone an opportunity to talk and say their point. And she rarely drinks on camera, usually only in live streams on other people's streams. You look at theoretical bullshit, the same sort of deal. When he's making his content, he's you would call it dry and clean. Then there's other people who are being very hyper about what they put on because they want the attention. They're trying to build a channel. They want people to be excited about being there. You have guys like Paulogia, who's making, and Vice Rhino. They do not swear on their streams. I don't know that they ever have. It's possible they have, but rarely, if ever. So there is clean at that end of the end of the content. Now, for a show like Atheist Primetime, and I know Ethan was talking about doing something like that. If you're going to send a theist to a stream to enjoy content where you're discussing theism, you don't want to send them to a stream where there's going to be 4 guys drunk out of their heads swearing and talking about sex, because they're going to click on the little X and they're going to disappear, and the algorithm is going to say they didn't like this video, and they probably won't like videos like this as well.
Say that again, Dave. Say that again.
The algorithm in Facebook, yeah. If you click on the X and close Matt Dillahunty's stream, he's one of the more popular atheists. But every now and then, when somebody says, "Hey, don't swear at me on the stream," he goes, "I can effing say what I effing want whenever I effing want, blah, 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 blah." And if a theist clicks on that little X, it is going to push the algorithm for them away from theist-friendly questioning content made by the atheist community. So the more that you put out content that is going to, like, if you are making content that you want a theist to watch and engage with, and you think about who's the most theistic person in the church that I used to go to or that I've interacted with recently, would they watch this, or at what point would they click the little X? And if it's less than 6 minutes into your video, it is going to skew the algorithm. It is going to make them see less atheist content. It is going to drive them towards guys like Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump. It's going to say they don't like the right. Let's give them more left, or the other way around. Sorry. Yeah.
So you're saying I can't be an a-hole until 6 minutes into my videos? Is that what you're trying to say?
Try not to be. You know.
All right.
It's a judgment act. Anyway, yeah. I hopefully when I get back into doing some more of the atheist primetime stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting. Here's an
identify who's doing what and how.
Right. This is an interesting question from Ox. What do you guys think about the shorts button YouTube added, allowing anyone to use parts of your videos for free, and you can't stop them unless you dig for the checkbox to stop it? I will say one thing about shorts. My channel grew incredibly well. I got 1,000 new subscribers from one 50-second video that I did when shorts just started out. It was a very useful tool to help me get monetized, to get over the 1,000 subscriber amount that you need for monetization. In terms of copyright, and I have no idea about that, Ox, to tell you the truth. Allowing anyone to use parts of your videos for free. Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I think it's a double-edged sword, like anything else, right? It could drive more people to look you up. It could be use of your content that doesn't benefit you at all. It could be your big break. It could be your not. You know.
I will also say this: shorts, because everyone's doing shorts now. Shorts, there's less incentive for people to do shorts, because at the very beginning of the process, there was a very high chance to go viral relatively easily, right, in terms of virality. But those days are gone. Now it's just like punching out a short. You know, it's very difficult to hit it big now.
I hope that another YouTube quote unquote will come up and because I mean the unfortunate thing about monopolies, and you have other platforms, but I'm not talking like the BitChutes of the world where you can just say anything or do anything, but just another serious platform where people can be themselves and go back to the way YouTube used to be, because the unfortunate thing about monopolies is YouTube can do whatever the hell they want. It's their company and they can make whatever rules they want. So until there's actual competition, there's really no pressure on YouTube to do anything other than what they want.
I'll say this: it has to be nonprofit, because any company that gets big enough, Google's going to buy, right? So
that's the problem of monopolies.
Yeah, exactly. So it would have to specifically be a nonprofit.
When did this country, when did we just accept that monopolies are a thing? Because I remember when I was a child, that was the big argument. You didn't want monopolies taken over, and now it's corporate America, and we went wrong somewhere in the last 20 years.
Well, it was the Reagan tax cuts. That's what happened. As soon as you started giving companies huge amounts of money to pay CEOs huge amounts of cash, that warps the democratic system.
Yep. I don't know.
At least that's one of the things. You know what, everyone? I'm going to cut this short a bit today because I'm working, and so I got to stuff my face full of food before I go to work.
I need to get back to work too. I've taken a long enough break.
All right. So, Rach, I'm looking forward to seeing the new channel, brother. Good luck with that.
Yeah, it'll be fun trying to grow a new one and trying to do it the right way and conform. Something I've never been good at.
Yeah, no idea what you're saying. So, any last thoughts, Dave or Sammy?
You go, Dave.
Oh, I was just going to say, good luck with Cat Search 2021. Hi to the girlfriend. Hope you have a nice day too. And everybody in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us. And thanks for having me on, Andy.
Dude, it's always great to have you on, especially since I know you're going to have to be like doing the job. A 9 to 5 job, right?
Well, I may be afternoon shift, so that may not affect too much in my regular routine of life. So,
Oh, good. All right. I've turned my girlfriend into a to the dark side. That's what I have.
Indoctrinated, yeah.
That's what it is. All right, everyone. We're doing the same crazy thing tomorrow, 9 to 11. Check us out. And on that, take care.
Hooroo.
See y'all later.
Paul Cameron.